Hello Pisces friends, I'm Annie Botticelli and welcome to my Pisces May 2022 Astrology Must-Knows Horoscope Forecast. Definitely go to anniehelpsyou.com to see the interface for all the free goodies I make for you each month. I have links to all the sites where I do all kinds of writing and blogs and written horoscopes and all kinds of things. If you are a YouTube viewer, welcome. You can look in the little bottom right of the corner with the arrow that says more and click down to reveal the notes, and that will have the links to all the places. And if you are one of my very fast growing podcast listeners, you can also look in the notes underneath the podcast. Right before recording this video, I crossed over into the 100,000 subscriberville. So that's something that I'm really excited about and celebrating, and thank you very much for. I'm so glad for your support and glad that my work is helping you. This is for you if Pisces is your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, or if you go deeper into your chart, into your Mercury or Venus or Mars, any placements you have in Pisces, this will be part of your astrological picture. And if you are very late degree Pisces, so if your birthdays, we'll say around March 15th through the rest of the sign, or like 23 degrees or so through the rest of the sign, then I highly recommend you additionally listen to or watch my Aries report, because you very late cuspy people will benefit from listening to both. May is another power-packed month full of all kinds of astrological factors that will affect you. So as usual, let's just take them piece by piece. The first big must-know is that, again, we have almost double the sweet aspects compared to the salty ones. And this is very exciting because we'll take all the positive news we can get, right? It definitely adds to the climate of the general astrology when we have less bumps that are challenging and more sweet, harmonious connections where the planets are speaking the same language and in accord. So that has been happening. We had it happen in April. We had more sweet aspects in March, not quite double. So we have a little spree here where this is going on, and that is very exciting and a welcome relief, because prior to that, things had been off in the other direction with more salty aspects. So we'll celebrate that now. The next big must-know is we do have that lunar eclipse at 25 degrees of Scorpio on May 16th. We are very much in the heat of eclipse season, which brings lots of major changes. Now, fortunately for Pisces, this eclipse is in fellow water signs, so this can bring extra blessings for you, and we'll drill down into the potentials and also who among you might get some extra kisses from this eclipse. We are turning the tides back again. If you've followed my work for a while, then you know I always talk about when the tides are going in. That's when we've got a personal planet being retrograde, or when the tides are going out. And at the time of my recording of this, and maybe when you're watching it, we're still in the window where from early March through around April 27th, it's pushing. It's time to push out. It's, doing all the new things, getting everything going. And now in May, it's time to dial it back, turn it in, respond to things that come to you rather than conjuring things to try to force to do. So May is definitely all about sitting in your web that you've already woven, waiting for food to come to you, and dealing with what comes into your realm rather than trying to push out or force anything. We've got strong Pisces energy still. We'll talk about the details of that. And then we've got strong energy in Aries starting. We've got some crazy, awesome Jupiter aspects and Jupiter moving into Aries. So that's the overview of what we're about to cover. So let's just start from the beginning. The lunar eclipse at 25 degrees of Scorpio on May 16th is going to bring major changes to relationships, money, debt, finances, collaborations, anything having to do with inheritances or deep spiritual or psychological breakthroughs. All have a chance to blossom now. The relationship between your stuff versus other people's stuff is the subject of the polarity of the Taurus-Scorpio eclipse cycle that started at the end of 2021 and goes until the beginning of 2023, or actually the middle of 2023. So we're in this long stretch of this influence of shuffling around of your things and other people's things, and the merging of those things, and your independence and your interdependence. So those topics are definitely going to be coming up. So that eclipse is going to hit in your 9th house, and this is true for all of the Pisces placements. Big changes, big endings, completions, things coming to fruition with teaching or learning, education, international travel or immigration, things with your church or spiritual beliefs, your position on something as far as it is philosophically. Something coming to an ending there. Those are just a couple of examples. You can definitely, I suggest that you check out some additional videos. You know that I like to go into lots of details, and if I went into all the details for every single point that we had here, we'd be here forever. So I do have additional videos that I'm going to refer you to get more information. So for all Pisces placements, I suggest you look for Annie Botticelli eclipses in Scorpio. Also eclipses in Sagittarius, because that's the house that it is occurring. Now you can search for this organically, or you can go to my YouTube homepage, look for the eclipse playlist on the homepage, and you can find them there. Now, if you are a March-born Pisces, or you have your Pisces placement around 11 degrees through the rest of the sign, I want to let you know that this energy of Scorpio is going to be double time for you, because besides it being in the sign of Scorpio, and that's true for everybody, for you all March-born or 11 degrees and on, it's also going to flavor your 8th house from the Placidus perspective, okay? So you've got some double time if you're in the March-born range there. You know, so a lot of changes to your personal relationships, your finances, and anything having to do with the Scorpio placements. Okay, so the next big must to know that we have is that the tides are turning back in. So let me just give you some dates here. So from April 21st through June 18th, we have our whole retrograde flow, including the pre and post shadow transit periods, okay? The official retrograde of Mercury is from May 10th through June 3rd. But the whole time from April 21st through June 18th is very much in this, be the spider, let things come to you, try to not conjure things, try to not force things, know that things are likely to change, and things that are set may be called into question. They may still work out, but you're going to have to deal with the uncertainty for a while. If you feel unsure about things that you felt sure about before, just let the uncertainty wash over you, and it's very likely that by mid-June, you'll start to have your certainty again, and things will be easier for making plans, and we will open up around June 18th, June 19th into the last open period free from personal planet retrogrades that we have in the whole of 2022. Open periods are times when it's easier to have clarity, to make decisions, agreements, make big purchases, make plans, you know, to have less of the mercurial or changeability, for clarity and just overall smoother sailing. Okay, so the reason why June 19th through August 21st is our last open period free from personal planet retrogrades in 2022 is because Mars is going to be retrograde at the end of the year, and that shadow period will start in September. So again, these retrogrades are not bad things. They just bring certain things. You can also search for Annie Botticelli Mercury retrograde and see my video on the topic. I also have a blog on the topic, because the more you know, the more you can protect yourself and make the decisions that are most aligned. Now, if you don't have my book, Planetology, How to Align with the Natural Rhythms of the Universe, I highly recommend that you get that, because I do dive pretty deep into retrograde cycles and how to use the direct energy and how to use the retrograde energy in deeper ways. So you'll have it there in written form, which might be easier for you to refer to when you hear about the different phases when I talk about them in the horoscopes. Okay, so our next big must know is that we do still have strong Pisces energy, and this is unusual this late in the year to have so much of a carryover of Pisces energy. So your time and the stars speaking your language is lasting longer than usual. So in many ways, that is a blessing. We still have Venus lingering until the beginning of the month around May 3rd in Pisces. Then we've got Jupiter lingering in Pisces until May 11th. It will dip back into Pisces just to the 28th and 29th degree between the end of October and December 21st. But for all intents and purposes, the majority of the Pisces Jupiter transit is complete. We will talk a lot about Jupiter moving into Aries and what that means for you later, but just wanted to mention it because those of you who are at the end, like the last couple of days or degrees of the Pisces sign, you're going to get your kisses from Venus and Jupiter at this time, okay? So that's very exciting. Expansion, benevolence, luck, optimism, money, relationships, all of those types of blessings can come from those kisses. Now, the rest of you aren't getting left out. Your kisses have already come. The Venus kisses will have come in April for the rest of you. who aren't at the end there. So if you're watching this early, then you know that April you'll have your kiss there. So Pisces friends, you're also going to get your Mars kisses this month. The majority of you will be getting your Mars kiss at this time, 12 degrees through 29 degrees. You're going to have that happen through May 25th. Now again, if you are an early February born 0 to 11 degree person, you will get your Mars kiss, but that will happen in April. Okay, so as of May 25th, we've got Venus, Mars, and Jupiter in Aries, and that is a whole different picture. But let's just hold up for a second and just talk about what this lingering energy in Pisces means and what you can do with it, okay? For your chart, Pisces lights up the first house, which is the same house that Aries is going to light up. So you're going to have a double and extended focus on your first house of your physical appearance, your physical body, your relationship with your body, your health, your image, how you look, how you dress yourself, how you present yourself to the world, how the world sees you. It's a chance for increased recognition, for increased vitality, for increased solutions in anything involving your physical body, and also a process of further defining who you are and what you're doing and what you're bringing to the world and what you want to shine. So this is a time when any psychological issues from birth or from your childhood could come up, but that you can also push through them to get to deeper levels of self-esteem, which can help you to have more confidence, which can help you to be more attractive to the things that you want from a vibrational perspective. So it is a time when, the focus really is on you. And Pisces people tend to be, very focused on making other people happy. And so this is very much about focus on you, focus on yourself, and trying to keep yourself strong and see what you need to expand and to do well. Okay, so these strong Aries energies, even though Aries lights up the general first house because it rules the first house, for you all, it's going to light up your house of finances. Now, I'm not going to get into this as much as I want to just yet because I've got a deep dive into what this can look like. But first, I want to transition over into talking about Jupiter and the many things going on with Jupiter at this time. Jupiter is making a blessed connection with Pisces, or with Neptune in Pisces, and that's happening April 8th through 12th. But because, remember, these outer planets take a long time to move. So when they're together, they're not just influencing in the time that they're exact in their mathematical degree of connection. It stretches before and after. So in May, we are still very much in this Jupiter-Neptune-Pisces connection, which can bring a lot of blessings. And that is happening at 23 degrees. Okay, so we talked about this in the April report, but I'll just bring the reminder here. If you are near 23 degrees, so first of all, Jupiter-Neptune blessings can bring everyone wonderful things. Now, as far as what those wonderful things are, I have a whole separate video on that. So search for Annie Botticelli, Jupiter and Neptune conjunction, and you'll get a lot of details of the many ways that you can see this manifest for yourself and in the world, okay? But as far as drilling down into who might see the most obvious effects, those of you who are near 23 degrees, so this is going to be like March 13th or like March 8th through March 18th, the closer to around the 13th, the more of a direct effect you'll have. Now, if you don't know what your degrees are and you want to know what your degrees are, go to anniehelpsyou.com, sign up for my free email newsletter. You'll get in the welcome package access to software to run a free birth chart. Then you can come back and listen and see if you are in these degrees or have any other placements in these degrees so you can use the information I give you more. All right, so those of you in that zone are more likely to have effects from this Jupiter-Neptune connection. Now, the next connection that we have is Jupiter making a 60-degree angle to Pluto. Again, I've done a whole separate video on that. So, look for Jupiter-Pluto sextile, Annie Botticelli. All of these are on the astrology playlist on my YouTube homepage. But this is happening at the very late degrees of okay, so again, those of you who are now, we'll say, 23 degrees through the rest of the sign, or like March 13th through the rest of the sign. And the later you are in the Pisces birthdays, the more you're going to have a kiss from this Jupiter-Pluto 60-degree angle, full of amazing opportunities. So I know it sounds like, and actually I've got one more thing. I meant to tell you where that lunar eclipse, who might get more kisses from that. And again, it's your late degree people. So don't feel left out if you're in the earlier degree, because you can get blessings from this transit. And please hear that, because sometimes someone will say, I'm not late degrees, it's all about them. And that's not true. It just means that you're more likely to feel the direct effects. Okay, so 20 degrees, we'll say 19 or so degrees through 29 degrees. The closer to 25 degrees, the more you're going to get the kiss from the lunar eclipse at 25 degrees of Scorpio. Okay, that's happening on May 16th, but the eclipse season is stretched April, through even into June. All right, so we've got a lot going on in water at this time, and you can feel the effects even if you are a February born, but it is a lot more focused on those later degree March people. Okay, so now let's talk about Jupiter in Aries. First, we're going to talk about the energies of Jupiter to understand Jupiter, and then we're going to talk about where it's going for Pisces and the types of things that you might see from this transit. We'll also go into the dates that it's going to be. There are actually, I don't think I went into the dates, so I'll give you those dates now. May 11th through October 28th, Jupiter is going to blaze through the first 8 degrees of Aries. Then from October 28th through December 21st, it's going to dip back into Pisces. So again, those of you, the last couple of days of the sign, you'll get one more kiss in that fall or spring for you all down under time frame. And then from December 21st through May of 2023, we will have it back in Aries. Okay, so now that you know the time frame, let's look at what you're likely to see during that time. And do note that even in those 7 weeks that it's back in Pisces, the energy of Jupiter, where it's about to go for you, is going to be in effect pretty much from now until next May. Okay, so when Jupiter is in Taurus or the second house, we're going to apply these principles of Jupiter, of optimism, broadening, diversification, luck, benevolence, education, international connections, diversifying, additive, excess, etc., to money. So this could mean an increase in income, expenses, which usually comes with the increase in income, like you're raising your standard of living, or your increase in expenses makes you get more income, an increase in money consciousness, an acquisition of desired material items, either through purchase or in some other way coming to you. An increase in your sustainability, either in working smarter instead of harder, like working less and making more, or your environmental sustainability, or just your habits that allow your life to function better. I have seen this also manifest as the topics of using your hands, whether it's gardening or woodworking or making things with your hands, the use of your hands and some kind of venture, possibly related to earning money, maybe a hobby turning into business, can also come up here. And the general energy of assessment of value of material items, of priorities, getting your priorities in order, are all things that I have seen come up when Jupiter is in Taurus or the second house. So again, we want to apply all of this. You can go big. If you want to make big income goals or any of these other things, change your imprint, this is a time to really dream big and go big and plant seeds for the future. Apply the energy of expansion to any of this. Watch out for excess as far as purchases, or, it's always a good idea to start saving more when you're making more. Also know that if you have any weak links in your money consciousness or in your budget, those could come up. And again, understanding the profound effects of changing your perspective. If you change your mind or change how you see your personal value, for instance, and the work that you do, you could get brave enough to ask for that raise. If you see your work as being more valuable and you carry that radiance and you really feel it and know it, that can all affect all of this. So in general, diversification of income, lucky breaks, internationally based income having to do with education or teaching, anything having to do with your philosophy or viewpoints. Maybe you were someone who wasn't as concerned about the environment, and now that Jupiter has expanded your viewpoint on that particular topic. So you can take any of these points and apply them to any of these points. And those are the types of things that you will see happen during Jupiter in Taurus or second house transits. Okay, so I've given you lots to work with to help you make the most of the energies this month and to help you understand the energetic patterns at work and play. And if you'd like more resources, I've got all of these here. You can additionally go to the little more button, the little arrow underneath the bottom right of the video. Click on that, and all of the links that I'm giving you here will be clickable, right? So if you're looking for reading options, including a beautiful, very detailed 45-minute audio of your birth chart for $33 from my brilliant husband, you can find that at anniebclarity.com. You can go to anniehelpsyou.com, sign up for my free email newsletter. This is where you can access running a free birth chart. This is where you access my 28-day in-depth virtual coaching program called Shine for free. This is also where you'll find tons of blogs, and you get lots of other perks for being on my newsletter list. If you're looking for written horoscopes by me, always up a month early, you can go to cozybysweetstarlight.com. If you haven't seen this site, go to it. It is so beautiful. We've got, me and my team have lots of amazing astrology-inspired blogs and healthy living blogs. We've got hypnosis for all the signs. We've got healing frequencies for all the signs. I've got the written horoscopes that I write. We have yoga for all the signs. So it's just a very beautiful, comprehensive site. If you're looking for free courses on how to manifest money and wellness, you can go to lumlife.com, my school, Luminous Life Multiversity, LUMLIFE. You can also find my astrology education courses here, including my behemoth of a master course called Becoming a Professional Astrologer Mastery Course, which you can fully utilize even if you don't want to be a professional astrologer, but it certainly will get you up to the level where you could be and show you how to make your business a success. And payment plans are available there too. Now, I've also got 2 books out and more on the way. Planetology, How to Align with the Natural Rhythms of the Universe. You will find this on the bookshelves in all major booksellers, including all the Books A Million, all the Barnes & Nobles. It's right there on the shelf. Plus, you can get it on Amazon and through any independent bookseller. And you can find Radical Prayer on Amazon, and you can order it anywhere as well. So I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month.